Most people starting an AI service business completely botch their pricing, and it's not because they are bad at math or because they don't understand the costs. They either charge way too little, leaving thousands of dollars on the table, or they overprice and scare clients away because they cannot justify the value that they are promising to deliver. The result is a vicious cycle where they are either stuck grinding through low paying gigs that barely cost their expenses, or they're just sitting with no clients at all, wondering why nobody wants to pay for their obviously valuable AI solutions. The real problem, it runs much deeper than most people realize. They are pricing based on their time, their tools, or what they think that the market will be paying, instead of understanding and communicating the actual measurable value they deliver to a business. Even worse, most beginners just try to skip the foundational steps that build real expertise and attempts to jump straight to high ticket deals, which almost always ends in disaster for both them and their clients. Now, I have seen this pattern destroy countless promising AI service providers who had the technical skills but lacked the business wisdom to actually build their credibility systematically. My name is Nick, and I have been running my AI service business for nearly 2 years now, generating six figures annually. And I've helped dozens of entrepreneurs nail the pricing to land high value clients. And the pattern is just always the same. The people who succeed follow a systematic progression that just builds expertise and credibility and pricing power over time. While those who fail just try to shortcut the process and end up burning bridges before they have even built them, or they're just not aware on how to actually price this. Now, before we dive into the step-by-step system, I wanted to mention that I will be sharing this entire guide in my free community where you can get access to it. Link is down below in the description. We have over 10,000 members now, and it's just a great place to meet other AI enthusiasts and entrepreneurs, ask me questions directly, join competitions with rewards, and much more. So again, the link is down below in the description below. Would love to have you in there. Now, before we dive into the systematic approach that actually works, you need to understand why the traditional pricing method actually fails so spectacularly in this AI service space. Because this context, it'll save you from making the expensive mistake that kills most businesses before they even start. And the biggest trap is hourly pricing, where people are charging $50 or $100 per hour because that's what consultants actually charge. But this approach, it just caps your income at however many hours that you can physically work, while making clients see you as a time-based commodity rather than just a results-focused partner. Now, when you price by the hour, you're essentially just competing with freelancers overseas who will build basic automations for just a fraction of your rate, which is inevitably going to create a race to the bottom where everyone loses except clients who are just getting mediocre results. So tool-based pricing, it's equally destructive. Now, what I mean by this is people set prices based on whether they are using Zapier, NNN, Make.com, whatever it may be, or maybe custom APIs. But clients, they don't care about your tech stack. They care about outcomes and basing your prices on tools rather than results, positioning you as a vendor rather than just a strategic advisor. Now, the fundamental shift that changes everything is moving to outcome-based pricing, where you can then charge based on the measurable business impact that you create rather than the time or the tools required to create the impact. So this isn't just a pricing strategy. It's actually a complete reframing of how you position yourself in the market, ultimately transforming you from someone who sells hours or implementations into someone who sells guaranteed business improvements. Now, when you make this shift, literally everything changes. So the type of clients that you attract, the prices that you can actually command, and the respect that you receive, and ultimately the success and satisfaction that you experience in your business. But now that you understand pretty much why traditional approaches fail, let's just dive a little bit deeper and explore the systematic progression that actually builds sustainable success. Your pricing strategy, it must evolve as you gain experience and build credibility, much like how a surgeon doesn't perform complex operations on their first day, but they do follow a carefully structured progression that just builds competence systematically. Now, there are actually 3 distinct phases that every successful AI service provider pretty much goes through. And attempting to skip phases or rush through the progression is really the fastest way to actually destroy your reputation and fail spectacularly. So, phase 1 is foundation building, covering your first 1 to 2 projects where you are starting to work for free or just at cost to build real-world experience, creating compelling, case studies and developing the confidence that really comes from successful project delivery and only from delivering this. So this phase, it typically lasts 1 to 2 months for people who actively pursue projects. And it's absolutely crucial because it's where you learn the difference between theoretical knowledge and practical implementation skills. Then we have phase 2. This is all about profit development, spanning really anywhere from 3 projects to 12 projects where you are implementing cost plus pricing with systematic markups that just ensure profitability while building an impressive portfolio of successful implementations. So this phase, it's going to depend, but it can really last anywhere from about a few months in to even 12 to 18 months. Obviously, it just depends on your project volume and complexity. And it's where you develop the business systems and client management skills that are just as important as technical capabilities. Then we have phase 3. So phase 3 is value maximization, beginning after you have about a dozen or more successful projects. It's of course going to depend again, like how comfortable you are feeling. But this is where you're just going to transition to value-based pricing, where you can charge 10 to 20% of the measurable business impact that you actually deliver, positioning yourself as a strategic partner rather than just a service provider. And understanding this progression, it's very crucial because each phase, it builds the credibility and stacks your credibility, reputation, experience, and confidence required for the next phase. And trying to jump ahead without proper foundations, it's just going to result in failure. Now, phase 1, it might feel counterintuitive because you are working without immediate payment, but it's actually the highest return investment that you can be making in your entire business, provided you approach it strategically rather than just randomly giving away your services. So your value equation at this stage, it's actually pretty straightforward. So technical skills plus real world experience, this equals market value. And as a beginner, you might have solid technical skills from courses, tutorials, videos of mine, whatever it may be, but you have zero experience with actual client projects, which just severely limits your credibility and pricing power. Now, the goal, it's going to be to complete maybe 1 to 2 carefully chosen projects that can actually demonstrate your ability to deliver measurable results while building the case studies and testimonials that will serve as the foundation for everything that follows. So finding the right free projects, it really just requires strategy rather than any desperation. So this is where you can be looking for businesses in your network that have obvious automation opportunities that you can solve relatively easily, post specific solution offers in maybe relevant communities or school communities, Reddit, whatever it may be. So doing this rather than generic, like I'll work for free messages, or identifying small businesses and industries where you can just clearly articulate the value of automation. But the key, it's going to be setting clear boundaries and expectations. So you have to explain that you're building your portfolio and value testimonials just more than payment right then and there. But at the same time, you also have to define specific deliverables, timelines, success metrics to prevent these projects from just becoming endless obligations, because you can get into that loop and you don't want to be doing a project for free for more than a month, 2 months. So what most people really just miss about this phase is that you should document these free projects more thoroughly than the paid ones, because the case studies, the testimonials, the lessons being learned, it becomes marketing assets that are just going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars in future sales. So make sure that you track every single metric that you can, whether that's time saved or maybe it's the processes improved, errors reduced, revenue impacted, efficiency gained, because these numbers, again, it'll become the proof that will justify your pricing in later phases. Now, after completing about 1 to 2 successful projects, maybe another 2, depending on how long they are, you'll have earned the right to actually start charging, because you now possess proof of delivery capability and understanding of common implementation challenges and powerful testimonials that can demonstrate your competence. and the confidence, of course, that's going to come from that, knowing that you can actually deliver on your promises. So with your foundation solidly established, you're ready to begin generating consistent profit while continuing to build expertise. Now, phase two, this is going to represent your transition from learning to earning, where you are going to implement a cost plus pricing model that just ensures profitability while building your portfolio and systems that will actually support your eventual move to premium pricing. So the cost plus approach, it's pretty elegant in its simplicity. So you just have to calculate your actual project costs, including development time, tools, and software expenses. And then from there, you can apply a markup that provides healthy profit margins while really remaining competitive in the market. So for example, if a project requires maybe 50 hours at $60 per hour in development costs, well, your base cost, it's going to be $3,000. And then you'll have a maybe 2.5 times markup, and you would price the project at $7,500, which provides, I would say, substantial profit while still delivering exceptional value to your client. So the payment structure during this phase, it's really crucial for cash flow management, where you request 50% upfront to cover your expected costs, with the remaining 50% due upon completion before becoming pure profit from your business. And this approach, it protects you from any cash flow problems while demonstrating professionalism to clients who can expect service providers to require deposits. Now, your markup, it should progress systematically. So this is where you can start with a 2x markup for projects 3 through 6 while you're developing your delivery systems. So from there, you can increase to 2.5x for projects 7 through 10 as your efficiency improves, and advance to 3x or higher as you develop specialized expertise and proven methodologies. So what makes cost plus pricing particularly effective during this phase is that it provides a logical framework that clients can actually understand and accept while protecting you from the underpricing mistakes that really destroy many service businesses. Maybe not destroy, but it definitely hurts. I've dealt with this issue myself, but you will then to begin noticing that certain types of projects are significantly more profitable than others, not because of your pricing formula, but because of the just underlying business value that you're creating. And this insight, it becomes the foundation for your eventual transition to value-based pricing. Now, the key insight from this phase is just learning to identify and articulate the business impact of your work, because the technical implementation, it means nothing without measurable business outcomes. So just once you have mastered profitable delivery through systematic cost plus pricing, you'll then be more ready for transition that separates good service providers from, truly successful ones. So phase 3, this represents the most significant mindset shift in your business development, where you are going to stop selling time or implementations and start selling guaranteed business outcomes at prices that are actually going to reflect the true value that you can create. So this transition, it really requires a completely different approach to client conversations and project scoping and pricing calculations, but it's where the real wealth gets built in the AI services industry. So the foundation of value-based pricing, it's understand your client's business's economics deeply enough to actually quantify exactly how much your solution is worth to their specific situation, which is then just going to require more sophisticated discovery and analysis rather than just simply understanding their technical requirements. So you have to start every value-based pricing conversation just by mapping their business value chain to identify where your automation is going to fit into their revenue generation, into their cost reduction, or even risk mitigation processes. So you need to be asking penetrating questions about their current challenges, like how much time does your team spend on this process weekly? What is the cost when this process fails or just doesn't work? How much additional revenue could you generate if this constraint was eliminated? What competitive advantages would you gain from solving this problem? So the goal here, it's really just building a comprehensive picture of both the costs that they're incurring and the opportunities that they are missing because of the problem that you can solve for them. So once you do understand their situation completely, well, from here, you can quantify the value using a systematic approach that accounts for multiple impact categories. So these categories being direct cost savings from time and resource efficiency, revenue increases from improved processes or capacity, risk reduction from eliminating errors or failures, and strategic advantages from competitive positioning or capability enhancement. So your price, it should represent maybe 10 to 20% of the annual value that you can deliver, which creates a compelling return on investment while ensuring that you're compensated appropriately for the business transformation that you're creating. But here's really where value-based pricing is going to become particularly powerful, is you're not just solving technical problems, you're enabling business transformation that can create compound value over time. So when you have or help a consulting firm automate their client onboarding process, you're not just saving administrative time, you're allowing them to take on more clients and improve client satisfaction through faster onboarding and reduce errors that damage relationships and free up senior staff to focus on revenue generating activities. And the total value of these improvements often exceeds the direct time savings by orders of magnitude. So this is just going to justify more premium pricing while still delivering exceptional client value. And the transition to value-based pricing, it also changes how you present and package your services, moving from technical specifications to business outcome guarantees. Now, how you structure and present your services, it's going to naturally become increasingly important as you move into higher value engagements, because premium clients expect professional packaging that clearly communicates value and reduces their perceived risk. So project-based engagements, these work well when you're solving specific, clearly defined problems with measurable outcomes. When clients prefer capital expenditure treatment for budgeting purposes, or maybe when the solution has a clear completion point that just doesn't require ongoing optimization. However, on the other hand, retainer relationships, these represent the ultimate goal for the most successful AI service providers, because they actually provide predictable revenue, deeper client relationships, and also significantly better your profit margins over time. But now the economics of retainers, they're compelling. While a one-time project might provide an 85% profit margin after accounting for acquisition costs, and a retainer relationship that lasts about 12 months, this is going to provide profit margins exceeding maybe 95% because the acquisition cost is amortized across multiple months of revenue. So more importantly, retainer clients, they become true partners who actually refer new business and provide case study opportunities and offer insights that improve your service delivery for all your clients. And the key to successful retainer relationships is just packaging ongoing value that extends far beyond these basic maintenance or support structures you have. So you need to structure these retainers around continuous value creation rather than just system maintenance. So monthly optimization reviews that can identify new automation opportunities, or strategic consulting calls that help your clients actually maximize their automation investments, or priority support that's going to ensure their system performs optimally, and performance monitoring and reporting that just documents ongoing value creation and proactive identification of new business challenges that automation can address. On top of this, you need to position these services as business partnerships rather than just technical support, really emphasizing how ongoing optimization and strategic guidance can compound the value of the initial implementation. Now, the transition from project to retainer, it really should feel natural and valuable, rather than just forced or opportunistic, if you will. So after delivering, great or exceptional, hopefully, results on an initial project, you can then present comprehensive metrics that document the value created, and then from there propose ongoing optimization that maintains and expands those results while exploring new opportunities for automation and, of course, efficiency. So just frame the retainer as an investment and continuous improvement rather than just a maintenance expense, because clients, they will pay significantly more for ongoing value creation than they will for basic system upkeep. So with your service packaging optimized, let's just go ahead and explore the advanced strategies that can maximize both close rates and profitability. Okay, now there is actually several sophisticated techniques that can dramatically increase and improve your ability to close high value engagements while maintaining premium pricing. And these strategies, they separate this top tier service providers from the competition, the wheat from the chaff. And performance guarantees, these are particularly powerful because they are going to eliminate client risk while they're going to be demonstrating your actual confidence in the results that you deliver. So you need to be structuring guarantees around the specific measurable outcomes, like maybe increased lead qualification efficiency by 40% within 60 days or receive a full refund. Or you could say like reduce manual data entry time by 25 hours per week within 90 days, or you pay nothing. And these guarantees, they make the buying decision intellectually easy because there's no downside risk for the client, while the specificity of the metrics demonstrates your understanding of their business and your confidence in your ability to deliver results. Moving on to service naming and packaging. So this psychology plays a crucial role in how clients perceive and value offerings. So instead of just selling generic AI automation or workflow optimization, you can create compelling solution names that immediately communicate the outcome. So instead, like one thing that you can be saying is revenue accelerator for sales process automation, or efficiency multiplier system for maybe operations optimization, or customer magnet platform for marketing automations. Now, these names, they help clients visualize the business impact while positioning your services as strategic investments rather than just technical implementations. Now, tiered pricing structures, this gives clients options while naturally encouraging them to choose higher value packages that actually going to provide better profit margins for your business. So you need to design 3 tiers where these are going to create clear value progressions. So you have a foundational package that is going to solve their core problem. Then you can have a professional package that's just going to add strategic components. And then you're also going to have an ongoing optimization in a premium package that includes comprehensive transformation with ongoing partnership. So you need to price these tiers so that the middle option provides the best perceived value, while the premium option includes everything that serious clients will need for maximum results. So payment structures should be designed to optimize both of your cash flow and also client comfort while reflecting the risk profile of each engagement. And then for these smaller projects, maybe under $10,000, $5,000, you can do 50% upfront and 50% on completion. This generally works pretty well, but larger engagements, this benefits from a milestone-based payment that is going to improve cash flow while giving clients confidence that payment it's really tied to some sort of deliverable completion, if you will. So definitely consider offering multiple payment options with different total prices, where you have clients who pay in full upfront, they receive a discount, or those who prefer milestone payments pay the standard rate, and those who need extended payment terms can pay a premium price that reflects the additional risk and administrative overhead. Now, even with perfect pricing and perfect packaging, you will encounter objections that require skillful handling to maintain your premium positioning. So before we actually move into the next section, I just really quickly wanted to mention that if you are looking for help doing all of this and just a way to speed up your learning process of running your own AI automation agency, then we are taking out just 2 more people to work one-on-one with myself and my team, where we will literally handhold you to starting and growing your AI business and teaching you everything from A to Z, whether that's how to actually source and find clients, or how to build out everything and build relevant solutions for your audience, and much more. So we guarantee that you will close clients within 90 days. And if you do not, we offer a full refund. But just to preface, this isn't needed to be successful, and it's just a way to help those who have been actually asking for this sort of thing and wants to learn everything that we've done and the best frameworks for success to build their business even faster. We're very selective about who we work with. So again, that's why we only take on 2 people at a time. And the link to actually apply is down below in the description. But again, you do not need to pursue that or join that to be successful. It's not needed. But in any case, let's get back into the video. Now, pricing objections, this is going to be inevitable when selling high value services, as you probably should know, but they do represent opportunities to reinforce your value propositions And it can actually help prospects make intelligent business decisions rather than just emotional ones based on sticker shock. So the most common objection that you are likely going to be running in is it's too expensive. And this should just be redirected immediately to the cost of not solving the problem rather than defending your price. So maybe you can respond with something like, well, okay, well, I understand the investment feels so significant. So let's just examine like what this problem is currently costing your business. So you mentioned you're spending about 30 hours weekly on manual processes at an average cost of $40 per hour. Well, this is going to equal about $62,400 annually. Now, my $18,000 solution, it eliminates 80% of that cost, saving you nearly $50,000 per year while paying for itself in less than 5 months. So when you look at it that way, what's really expensive? Is it investing $18,000 now or continuing to lose $50,000 every year? So when prospects say like, we can't afford it right now, just reframe the conversation around cash flow, optimization, and opportunity cost. So you could say like, okay, well, these cash flow considerations, they're completely understandable, but every month that you delay costs approximately $4,000 in continued inefficiency. But if we begin right now, you will recover your investment within 4 months and generate positive cash flow from the solution for years to come. So what specific cash flow concerns can we actually address to make this investment work for your business? So saying things like this, and oftentimes this objection, it's really just about payment terms rather than total cost. So just be prepared to offer milestone payments or other structures that make the investment more manageable for them. Then we have the risk-based objections like, okay, well, what if it doesn't work? This should be addressed by eliminating the risk entirely. So this, you can obviously acknowledge their concern. You could say like, that's an excellent question, something like that. And I'm completely confident in the results to offer a comprehensive 90-day, 60-day, 30-day guarantee. If you do not achieve the promised efficiency in cost savings, you pay nothing. So the real risk is continuing to lose thousands of dollars per month while waiting for a perfect solution that may never exist. And this approach, it transforms the risk concern into a competitive advantage for your service while just demonstrating supreme confidence in your ability to deliver results. Now, let's look at advanced objection handling. So this is going to involve helping prospects just calculate the true cost of, the alternatives rather than simply defending your pricing. So in this situation, you could say like, I encourage you to evaluate other options thoroughly. When you do, make sure to factor in the total cost of project management, the risk of working with less experienced providers, the opportunity cost of delayed implementation, and the long-term value of getting it right the first time. Even if you find a provider offering 50% of my price, if they take twice as long or deliver half the results, you're actually paying more while getting less. On top of this, you can mention about it being a done-for-you solution, because some competitors, they may be a platform where they have to set things up for yourself, or maybe they'll get a tech manager, account executive to help them oversee it, and where it's done with you, but what you're going to be providing is done for you. So they don't have to worry about any of that. It's all going to be handled. So what this is going to do is it's going to actually position you as a trusted advisor while highlighting the hidden costs of choosing cheaper alternatives. All right, now with objection handling mastered, let's just focus on the systematic approach to scaling your pricing over time. Successful price scaling, it requires a systematic approach that balances market testing with confidence building, because raising prices too slowly, it leaves money on the table, while increasing them too aggressively can just price you out of the market before you have even built sufficient credibility. So in this case, your pricing progression, it should be following a predictable path where you begin with free foundation building projects, then you advance to $3,000, $8,000 cost plus projects during your skill development phase. And then you progress to $8,000 to $20,000 value-based projects as you prove ROI, return on investment capabilities, and ultimately establish anywhere from $15,000 to $40,000 premium solutions with $2,000 to $6,000 monthly retainer relationships for any ongoing partnerships. And price increases, this should be triggered by specific business indicators rather than just arbitrary timelines. So raise prices every 4 to 6 successful projects during the early phases. Whenever demand consistently exceeds your capacity by more than 2 weeks, After developing new capabilities or specializations that increase your value proposition, or when you have 6 months of documented ROI data that proves your impact on client businesses. And the key principle is that you should feel slightly uncomfortable with your prices, because if you're completely comfortable with what you're charging, you're probably underpricing your services significantly. Now, productization, this is going to become increasingly important as you scale, where this is going to allow you to command premium prices while reducing delivery time through systemized approaches to common problems. So here, you have to develop industry-specific packages like, okay, well, maybe a real estate lead conversion system, or maybe a e-commerce inventory optimization platform that is going to leverage your experience to solve similar challenges faster and more effectively than these custom approaches. So these productized solutions, these can command 20 to 40% premium pricing while reducing your delivery time by 30 to 50%, because you're building on proven frameworks rather than just starting from scratch. We can also look at geographic and market expansion strategies, how these can dramatically increase your pricing power by positioning you in markets where your expertise is less common or more valued. So you need to consider like specializing in specific industries where automation can create disproportionate value, and targeting larger businesses where automation savings can justify these premium pricings. Or maybe developing expertise in emerging AI applications where competition is going to be more limited and clients can pay for premium prices for these cutting edge solutions. And the goal is just positioning yourself where your skills can create maximum value and competition is going to be minimal. Then market positioning is going to become increasingly crucial as you scale, because premium pricing, well, it requires premium positioning. And forgive me for being so redundant, but it does require premium positioning that differentiates you from commodity providers just competing primarily on these prices. Now let's just get into the last section, which is going to be talking about premium pricing and how it creates premium expectations that must be exceeded consistently. Because one failed high-value project, it can completely just damage your reputation more than 5 successful budget projects will enhance it. So your delivery methodology, it should reflect the professionalism and expertise that justifies your pricing through every interaction, from initial consultations to project completion and beyond that. So you have to begin pretty much every engagement with a comprehensive discovery and planning phase that is going to demonstrate your strategic thinking and thorough understanding of their business, not just their technical requirements. So project kickoff, this should really include detailed documentation of objectives, success metrics, timeline milestones, communication protocols, and even risk mitigation strategies that give clients confidence that they've made an intelligent investment. So you need to require immediate access to all of the necessary systems and all of the accounts and stakeholders to prevent delays that can derail timelines and create blockers and create unnecessary stress for either side. On top of that, you have to implement staging environments and demonstration protocols that allow these clients to see progress and provide feedback just before final implementation, which is going to build confidence while preventing these costly changes late in the project. So this is where you can use things like ClickUp, which is what we use internally, or any other practice management or client portal. There's Motion we used for a little bit, but in any case, let's not focus on that. Next up is making sure that we are ensuring communication. So communication during delivery, it should be proactive and strategic rather than obviously reactive and tactical. So you have to provide weekly progress updates that are going to focus on, actual business impact and milestone achievement rather than just the technical progress. And you have to anticipate and address these potential issues before they actually become problems, and maintain regular stakeholder engagements to ensure alignment throughout the entire project. So like what we do is we immediately invite the client to Slack, where we set up their account basically just on a new Slack channel. And this is where we deal with any communication. So if we have questions and stuff, either we can add it in Slack or we can put it in ClickUp. Moving on, this is going to be documenting everything meticulously. And this isn't just for project management purposes, but because this documentation, it becomes really invaluable for these case studies that we need, and these testimonials that we need, and future sales, of course, that we need, and all these conversions. Next is going to be post-implementation support. where we should just be focusing on, the value realization and optimization rather than just the technical maintenance. So you have to monitor performance metrics very closely, at least during the first 90 days, and then provide training, optimization, recommendations that are actually going to help your clients maximize their ROI and proactively identify additional automation opportunities that, can provide ongoing value for your clients and of course cash flow for yourself. But this approach, it transforms these project deliveries into relationship building and creating natural opportunities for any additional services and referrals, of course. So naturally, just excellence in this delivery, it's going to create a virtuous cycle where satisfied premium clients can become your best marketing assets through these referrals, testimonials, and case studies that can really allow you to justify premium pricing for future prospects. And the ultimate goal, it's going to be building a reputation for exceptional results that allow you to be selective about projects while obviously commanding these great prices and high prices for clients who value expertise over these cost savings. I know that was a lot, but in conclusion, the transformation from struggling service provider to premium priced AI automation expert, it follows a predictable path that rewards those who actually follow the system while really punishing those who tried to skip any steps or take shortcuts. So just begin with 1 or 2 strategically chosen free projects that can actually build unshakable experience and compelling case studies, and then transition into profitable cost plus pricing that can generate any consistent revenue while building your portfolio. And then from there, you can advance to value-based pricing that is going to position you as a strategic partner, delivering guaranteed business outcomes and ultimately develop retainer relationships that can provide predictable and revenue and deeper client partnerships. So your success in AI services, it requires understanding that pricing is positioning, not just mathematics. And how you price your services, it determines what kind of clients you can attract and what kind of projects you work on. And ultimately, how much you enjoy and profit from your business. And of course, premium pricing, this is going to attract clients who value expertise and results over just cost savings, leading to better projects and stronger relationships and more satisfying work that can leverage your skills really effectively rather than commoditizing them. So to summarize, the AI services market, it's evolving rapidly just towards greater sophistication and specialization, which just naturally creates enormous opportunities for professionals who build systematic expertise and position themselves strategically. And the clients, they're increasingly willing to pay premium prices for providers who can deliver guaranteed business outcomes rather than just technical implementations, but they can easily distinguish between authentic expertise and just superficial positioning. So your success, it entirely depends on following the systematic progression outlined in this guide rather than just trying to skip phases or take shortcuts that inevitably just leads to failure. And the businesses that thrive in this space are those that focus obsessively on delivering measurable value and documenting results meticulously and building long-term relationships just based on trust and proven performance. So start with one carefully chosen, just free project this week, apply these principles systematically, and begin building the foundation for a premium AI service business that will provide both financial success and professional satisfaction for years to come. But in any case, if you guys have any questions, join my community, network with others, ask them questions, ask myself questions. We just hit a little bit over 10,000 members, so I would love to have you guys within there. But of course, if you're looking to get a more hands-on approach to all of this stuff, then you can apply to our mentorship where we'll walk you through all this stuff, handhold you, make sure you understand it, and can actually charge premium pricing. But with that being said, I really hope you guys found some value within this video. It took a lot to kind of compile all of my knowledge, everything that I've learned into this condensed 30-minute video. But yeah, please drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. And again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.